One of the other bases for your cross-complaint is emotional distress.
And I married her when she wasn't pregnant.
Oh.
So I got the annulment when she wasn't pregnant, and then I impregnated her after the annulment.
That doesn't help. Okay,
That really doesn't help.
Were you drinking all of this time?
During that time, we were both abusing alcohol and marijuana.
Okay, one of the bases for your cross-complaint is emotional distress. And we were provided with some text messages that you sent to him where you are telling him that if he's not with you, you're going to harm yourself.
At that time, I was not in a good state of mind. I would say that I was in a depressed state of mind, but also I was in a relationship with someone who was abusive to me. This person tore me away from everybody in
I
my
understand,
life.
but what I'm telling you is when I see these text messages, the emotional abuse at least was going both ways.
Correct.
Because using the threat of self-harm as a means of trying to get someone else to do something is abusive.
Yeah, during that time, I will admit that those were not good things to say.
Okay, good. Now, the most recent thing we have from you on that is about 4 years old. Do you have anything more recent than that?
No.
I understand it happened in the past, but we have to consider the statute of limitations on a claim like that.
Right,
and that,
but at that time, I was very discombobulated with what I was receiving, and I was like, I didn't know how to respond to it.
Okay. Ms. Regalado, I want to go to page 2 of your evidence, because this is your sort of tally of what is owed here. So obviously we have the car payment. Mm-hmm. There's also the insurance payments, and those were the payments that you were making so that he could use the car for Uber, correct?
Right.
It was part of that arrangement.
Yes.
1% interest, is that interest that you've put on yourself?
Correct.
For him not paying you back all this time?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. What are late fees?
For months that he didn't pay any payments. So on some months he made payments, but most of the time he did it. And I told him that he would have a late fee for that, and he would say, put it on my tab.
What is expense/losses of $556?
So the expense/losses is damages that I had to repair. So he broke my door. He also broke the stairwell, and I had to purchase items from Home Depot to repair these things.
Did you break the door?
I was trying to try to get her to open the door because every time there is an altercation or she wants me to leave, she holds on to my items and makes it impossible for me to leave.
Does she still have any of your items?
No, because I was able to, while she was, at work, to get my
back.
items.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. We're going to excuse you and deliberate in this case. Thank you.
This courtroom is now in recess, so we'll have you exit first. Close the doors to the right.
All right, this is really dark, and I think this relationship is really toxic.
Very, very sad.
Fortunately, we're really not being asked to weigh in on the relationship, except, I guess, to a certain extent from the defendant's counterclaim. I think the plaintiff is entitled to some money. If we go through her list, she's entitled to be reimbursed for the car payments.
Yep.
That was clearly a separate transaction in the course of this relationship so that his mother could visit him in the hospital. She made his car payments, he got to keep the vehicle, and the mother used the vehicle. So I would give her the money for the car payments.
How much is that?
To me, that's it.
I'd give her the damages to her home.
Ah, you're right. Yodit, I absolutely agree with you.
How much is the
damage
damages
to the home?
For the home?
It says
$500.
$556, so yeah.
So if you add up the car and the damages to the home, it's about $3,000. But I feel very strongly she's not entitled to interest. She's not entitled to impose her own late fees. And the rest of this, the insurance that she was paying for, this was part of a deal. She agreed to pay his car insurance, not to be reimbursed for it, but to make the insurance payments so that he could drive for Uber, so that he would watch their child while she attended school, and so that he could make payments back to her, many of which he did. Now, the fact that he has paid her back goes with the insurance deal. He doesn't get to count that against what we have here today.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think both of those go
That's
away.
fair.
They're not part of what they're entitled to get today. I would dismiss his counterclaim.
Oh, yeah.
I believe these threats of self-harm could cause him significant emotional distress. However, because it happened over 5 years ago, it's far, far outside of the statute of limitations.
Yeah.
So we don't have to get into that. The rest of his complaint, other than that, as far as I see it, is that she's harassing him by bringing this lawsuit, and that's clearly not a basis for
To have him stay in her life,
So
and I just...
$3,000 in favor of
ridiculous.
the plaintiff.
Yes, and
Yeah.
hopefully
We're all in
these two
agreement.
can go separate ways. So we have a verdict.